Good afternoon, everybody. How are you in this international break ahead of Game Week 8? My name is Az. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Az. How are you?
I am good, thank you. Look, green arrows next to both of our names.
Hurrah!
There's no better feeling, is there, going into international break? 2 green arrows?
No, 100%. You go into an international break, the thing that you don't want to do is have a red arrow that you dwell on. So big green arrows. Actually, they're both big green arrows. Yours is nice and big. Yeah, happy days.
I know.
Q&A team smashing it this week.
I know. I mean, I don't really feel like I deserve it. I mean, I kind of... we both went for Haaland captain, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like when your captain blanks, I look at my other players. Watkins blanked. Mbeumo got 8, but most people have got him. Semenyo blanked. Rogers blanked. Gabriel blanked. Raya blanked. I kind of don't really feel like it's a green, but just having Saka was enough to get us a green.
Made a big difference, right?
Good lad.
Yeah. Thanks, Saka. I wish I'd left the captaincy armband on him, though, to be honest.
If we'd captained him, we'd be absolutely flying. I think I'd be about 200k. You'd probably be about... You'd probably have half your rank as well. We'd be absolutely smashing it. So, yeah. But do you know what I mean? It feels a bit... I feel like... Don't you feel a bit dirty?
Well, no, I mean, I had Jota and Trent as well. So... Like, returns for Jota and
Okay,
Trent.
Jota.
Nice.
Okay, so you had another goal scorer other than Saka and Mbeumo. You haven't got Mbeumo, have you?
No. So
there you go.
I had Jota and Trent, and I had Solanke as my others. So I actually had... My returns came from slightly odd places, but I did have returns in there. I mean, I had blanks as well. Even Hendo got a save point. So I actually quite...
Nah, you're less dirty then. You're
I
right.
feel less... Yeah, I feel like that's the case. Like I'm less reliant on Saka.
Yeah, my points came from Trent, Saka, and Mbeumo, who are pretty boring template picks, and the rest of my team blanked, and I still got a green arrow, but it doesn't feel deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like by holding Jota, I deserve.
You do, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you still haven't wildcarded as well, so.
No, I still haven't wildcarded.
Yeah.
Still not either.
When are you planning on using that? There was a video about that on Scout, wasn't there?
12. I'm planning to use it in 12.
Okay.
Or going into 12. But the thing is, so on Thursday, Friday last week, I was kind of pondering on, do I wildcard like this international break? And mostly that was based on the Liverpool investment. And I was thinking like, is it time to get rid of Jota? Should I downgrade Trent? If I do those two things, I can have Mbeumo. I could upgrade. Maybe Harry Winks can become Brennan Johnson because I can free up some budget out of Trent. I could do the Saliba to Gabriel thing. I could finally get rid of Barco. Like I can.
Why would you get rid of him? He's fine.
I know. He's there, third sub, living his best life on my bench
in Spain. Yeah.
In Spain, I could change my goalkeeper. So in my head, I was thinking, right, all these things I could do. But the reason for doing it, a lot of that is peripheral stuff. It's like the edge players, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, let's change my bench players, all 4 of them. Let's change out the goalkeeper. Like, nothing particularly like, oh, I must wildcard because of that. And then, instantly, because it was the 12:30 game, Jota does something. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to sell Jota anymore. And it changes the way that you think, because then you're kind of like, all right, well, also Luis Diaz has got a long journey for the international break because he's obviously South American and he goes away. Jota not so much, just Portugal. So, and I still don't feel like I'm ready to give up investment in Liverpool. Like, I know that they've got a couple of horrible games coming up, but that Chelsea defence is definitely gettable. And I still feel like I want to be invested there, but I don't want to spend the budget on Salah.
I don't think your team needs it.
No, and I look at my team for this week and I'm like, oh, that's quite nice.
Trent,
like,
Porro, Saliba, McNeil, Rogers, Jota, Saka, Watkins, Solanke, Haaland. I don't know what you'd do with that. Looks like a wild-carded team.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? I've sort of landed on a team that feels like it's quite close to the template wildcard anyway, by just using my chance. So last week, I think I said to you on the Q&A, like, I really didn't want to play Smith Rowe last week. I had this like, no, I don't want to play Smith Rowe. Don't fancy that fixture at all against Manchester City. But he was my weakest point that I could easily change, and I couldn't get to Brennan Johnson, who I really wanted, and I couldn't get to Mbeumo, who I really wanted. So it was a case of, well, who can I get to? And I had like 5.8 million to spend on that upgrade from Smith Rowe. 5.9, I think, actually. And in the end, I was like, well, I could go with somebody that's got a good fixture this week. And if I'd have done that, I'd have gone Carvalho. But I was worried about the Vista back in training thing. Because he's back on the grass, isn't he now? Back running on some grass. So if he's back on grass, maybe we see him 1-2 weeks down the line. That Carvalho window is really short. And I was kind of like, if we get past the international break and there's rumours of him being in and around the squad, then I potentially have bought in a player and it might force my hand with the wild card. Whereas if I go for somebody like a Dwight McNeil, Everton have the fixtures where I can just hold him for a number of weeks and it's not forcing the wild card decision. So hence why I went with him. I wasn't really expecting a lot, to be honest, in that game against Manchester United, against Newcastle. It was just one of those where I was like, well, I bring him in. It's not really for this week. It's about the longer term.
It was their first away clean sheet, like 22 games or something for Newcastle.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a pretty good bet, actually.
Well, he had a couple of opportunities, didn't he, as well in that game? There was an assist for Calvert-Lewin that could have and maybe should have gone in. And then he had an attempt on goal himself, which could have and maybe should have gone in. So there were a couple of moments where I did think that he was going to return for me. But, I mean, the only thing I would probably do is take some money out of Watkins and use that money to upgrade in the middle.
As Pajita says, you should have Delap's points. They've been rolling in since you mentioned him. Was it 3 or 4 goals since you talked about him a couple of weeks ago?
It's got all 4 since I spoke about him, but since I started talking about. But the last 2 weeks he's had 3 goals. Like,
yeah.
And they had a stat earlier that I was writing about. Hang on, I'm gonna find it because it's like he's only Haaland has scored more goals than him of the forwards. He's got more goals than like Havertz and Watkins, and I'm just there like, why, Sam? Why? Hang on, let me find his stats that I wrote down for the pod because I just was like. It's mental that I didn't go there, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. He's got the same as Watkins, Jackson, Welbeck,
there you go.
Havertz, Chris Wood.
Yeah.
All on 4. Yeah,
11 attempts on goal, 3 more than the next best at Ipswich. Of those, 8 have come from inside the box, 5 big chances, 4 goals already. It's just, yeah. And the thing is that if I go Watkins to Delap, which is what I would probably do, or Watkins to Cunha, that's the other option.
Oh my God, please just get Delap. I can't listen to you every week on this Q&A going, has Delap scored again?
I know,
so sad.
But...
Do you like that impression?
Yeah, I did. That was a really good impression of me. Probably the best I've ever heard. But I like my team for this week, and I like the fixture for Watkins this week. Yeah. So I think I'm going to just roll it this week, and then
next week it's Bournemouth at home, isn't it? So that's a hard sell.
But beyond that, when you look at the fixtures for Cunha versus Delap, the Wolves fixtures are nicer now. So I don't know. But basically, the long story short of the original question that you asked me is that I think I'm going to wildcard in 12. However, if my team keeps performing well, it could be 16.
Thomas says you won't get Delap's hat-trick.
Oh, man.
It's not very nice, is it?
When's that coming?
Lee says good impression. Thank you, Lee. I thought you'd appreciate that.
Lee?
Haven't even done my normal hellos to everyone in the chat. Hi to everyone tuning in. I know the international break is a bit of a weird one. Lots of people switch off. I've been guilty of that this week. I haven't really thought about FPL. But 230 people watching live. Good to have you all here. Make sure you get your comments in the chat and we will answer as many as we can. Bobby Whitby, not a question, but just says, by the way, Sam, I looked. Mbeumo is 98% owned in the Elite 1000 League. Haaland is 81% by comparison. So you're actually risking it more without Mbeumo than you are. Well, I suppose Haaland's got the captaincy, hasn't he? But as if you didn't go for Haaland. But yeah, 98% owned is massive, isn't it?
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
He's good as well. He's playing really well.
Yeah, he's playing really
Don't
well.
recommend it.
Don't recommend it. It doesn't. This living on the edge strategy does not come recommended, and that's the other thing is. So if I do the Delap or Cunha thing, one or the other, then I can easily go Harry Winks to Brian, and that feels like a massive upgrade. And I don't feel like I'll be losing that much by losing Watkins because I keep Rodgers. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, I saw your team and think it looks good. It's hard to work out.
I'm not doing anything this week. We're rolling. Unless somebody gets majorly injured.
Yeah, fair. Sushat says, if you had Evan Nilsson and Smith Rowe, would you prioritise getting Delap in for Evan Nilsson and bench Smith Rowe also? Basically, would you do Evan Nilsson to Delap?
Yeah. Would you not?
Evan Nilsson's fixtures are awful, aren't they? The next couple.
Yeah. Arsenal, Villa, Man City.
Arsenal, Villa, Man City. I think that is a move that will pay dividends. Well, you could just play Smith Rowe. I don't hate playing Smith Rowe against Villa at home. No, I'd get to Lap. Get to Lap. Come on, you're asking the wrong person here.
There's not enough Delap love, I tell you.
No, he's good. I saw him play against Brighton. I thought he was fantastic. I've seen him play a couple of times this season. Yep. He's going to get goals this year.
Yep. I still don't understand why his dad didn't teach him how to throw a ball, though.
No, that's disappointing, isn't it? Disappointing.
Yeah, I'm very, 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 very disappointed in original Delap for not teaching that skill to his son.
Yeah, so am I. A few people talk about Foden. Adam Stevo says, do we think Pep will love Foden now? Papulkit says, Saka to Foden is on my mind. I cannot get rid of that thought. Okay, let's talk about Foden as an option first of all. Mark brought him in this week, which I thought was very brave. He did. He's Watkins and someone to... Oh, I think it was Watkins and Diaz to Solanke and Foden. Which I quite liked as
I mean, actually, it worked out, didn't it? Watkins and Diaz.
Yeah,
just it did work.
Just about. I think they all blanked, didn't they? Apart from Solanke.
Got an assist,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They all blanked apart from Solanke. Yeah.
Yeah, so it did work. I don't know about Foden as.
No.
I don't trust Pep. Do you?
I don't really see how Foden cannot start. Like they are missing. They need his creativity in the team. XGI of 0.54 in the last game. I thought particularly in the first 45 he linked up quite well with Haaland, which we haven't really seen too much from other players in the side. He's not going to bench him. He's not going to bench Foden.
He shouldn't.
Just can't see it.
But he has been.
Yeah, because he's not been fit.
No, but that's nonsense because he started him in the Champions League, then benched him in the Premier League. Then he started him in the League Cup and then benched him in the Premier League. And then he eventually gave him his first Premier League start.
Well, he had two successive starts because he had Champions League and Premier League.
This time around, but the last time around he didn't. He played him in the Champions League and then not in the league. And like I watched him play the League Cup. He was fully fit in that League Cup match and then didn't play the Premier League game afterwards. And he should be playing every week. And at some point, I think Foden will be the right one to own. But I just don't know. Well,
British 87 says Foden is a wait and see, right?
I agree.
You kind of agree. I don't agree. I don't.
You're going to go?
I don't think I'm going to go there, but I don't think he's a wait and see because I think if you're going to buy him, you buy him now. He's got Wolves and Southampton next. Then it's Bournemouth away, Brighton away, Spurs, Liverpool, Forest, Palace away. That is when we're going to want Palmer. It's not going to be Saka, Palmer, Haaland, and Foden. It's going to be one of Saka it's going to be two of Saka, Palmer, Foden, right? To go alongside Haaland. You can't have all of them.
Yeah.
We can, but it's not going to go well.
You're going to tank the rest of your team.
So why would you if you're not going for Foden the next two, if you're waiting and seeing over the next two, well then it comes to game week 10 or 11, then you're going to be getting Palmer. So I think you have to get him now. If you believe he's going to do well, you have to buy him now. I think.
Whereas I don't think I believe he'll do well.
Then don't buy him.
I'm not going to. He might do really well. He might do. But equally, like, I just don't know. I wasn't impressed with him yesterday.
When are we when he plays for England?
Well, that's true.
I genuinely don't think I've seen him have a good England game.
No.
Not in a game I've watched.
I don't love it at the moment. Like, I honestly think it's Haaland and that's it at Man City. If you want to go for Rico Lewis, then fine. But otherwise, I just I'm not interested. I think Haaland is the one. I just think that you've got better options elsewhere in that premium bracket.
So would you sell Saka for Foden?
Absolutely
to answer
not.
Popolkit's question.
Unless Saka's actually done his hamstring, then maybe you can take a punt there. But I would not sell Saka ahead of a game against Bournemouth.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Nathan Gay says triple captain on Haaland.
Not this week. Next week, maybe.
Triple captain at home to Southampton?
Yeah, maybe.
As in you're tempted?
Yeah.
If De Bruyne's back as well.
I'm very tempted.
If De Bruyne and Foden are both in that team alongside Haaland, that could be...
That Southampton defence,
It's
they
bad.
are shocking. They are so bad. And Haaland at home is very different to Haaland away from home. And it's another week. And that gives Foden potentially more minutes in his legs. And potentially KDB is back.
It's going to be frustrating if Foden does well against Wolves, say he gets a goal and he gets 10 points, his ownership's 5%, going into Southampton at home, that could be 12, 15%.
Yeah.
And then we haven't got him. And that could hurt.
Could have.
Against Southampton. But you can't have them all, Sam. You can't have them all.
Can't have them all.
Facts.
I mean, I don't recommend being without Mbeumo, but that's where we are. Like, you can't have everyone. So there's got to be some compromises.
Well, but Paulkit's getting him. So I'm glad he's sort of ignored both of us. I genuinely think if you're going to buy him, you buy him now. Otherwise, you wait until 5 or 6 game weeks down the line. You say you wouldn't even buy him now. I think he's a pretty good option. I'm looking at Watkins and thinking, would I rather have Watkins or Foden? With Foden's next 2 games.
Yeah, but I'm looking at Watkins thinking I'd rather have Delap. And then I could use that money to get Mbeumo.
Delap or Foden?
Yeah, I'd rather have Delap.
Yeah. Would you?
Yeah.
That is... Did you ever think you'd be saying that at the start of the season, 8 game weeks in?
No, I mean, I'm not Foden's biggest fan. When he's on runs, he's brilliant. But I just think he's one of those players that I like to get for short bursts of time in FPL. And you have to be absolutely sure that that burst of time is going to be the time where Foden's on it.
Yeah, true.
And I'm just not convinced that this is it.
It's just the 5% ownership, isn't it? Going into games against Wolves and Southampton, who've conceded the 2 most goals in the league so far. Yeah, it's a good time. Where I saw a good question. Sakan says if you had to own one out of the 5% OEO players, out of Foden, Son, and Bruno, who would you go for? You can surely dump Bruno from that list.
Oh, Bruno's not even in the conversation.
No.
So I probably would have Foden of these, but the only reason is because I think at Spurs you can have Solanke and Brennan Johnson and Maddison, and they're all cheaper and arguably all better.
Yeah.
That's the only reason, though.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. John W says I sold Watkins and Semenyo for Foden and Delap. Yeah, one of each.
Delap.
My boy Foden, your boy Delap.
God, I love Liam Delap. I do feel like we're having a bit of a love affair, me and Liam Delap. He just doesn't know about it.
No.
Somebody should tell him.
Yeah.
Somebody should tell him how often I say his name.
Well, I've got that with Davis at the moment.
You and Leif Davis are having a love affair.
I'm obsessed with Leif. I saw
what we
those
should
stats.
We should go and watch it together. We should go and watch Ipswich play together, you and me. We'll have a little Delap and a little Leif Davis
I've seen them.
fan club.
I went to Ipswich Brighton.
Let's go together and watch Ipswich.
Okay, we should go to Portman Road?
Yeah, you and me. We'll leave Yels and Lee at home. You and me, we'll go on a little love affair to watch Davis and Delap.
Yeah. Oh, we could follow them round, like the cameras do, where they're focusing on like Ronaldo or Zidane or someone. Just follow around Davis and
just
Delap.
Us. They'll just be like, who are these two weirdos?
Storm the pitch when one of them scores.
Why do they like us so much?
I love Ipswich this season. I think they're great.
I do too.
I loved McKenna's post-match at West Ham when he was like, yeah, to be honest, we came here, we thought we'd play a bit different. We tried to take the handbrake off. It was a disaster.
It didn't work. I love that. I love that he owned it. Yeah, sorry guys, it all went horribly wrong. We won't do that again.
Ricardo says sell Havertz for Solanke.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that a bit of Spurs
No.
bias?
No, it's not. No, I don't think it is. I think it's fixtures bias. I mean, I know that it's Bournemouth up next, and I know we're expecting Havertz to be fit after dropping out of the Germany team. But in the next 4, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea for Arsenal, or West Ham, Crystal Palace, Villa, Ipswich for Spurs. And those Spurs games, 3 of them are at home. Whereas Arsenal have got 3 away.
Were you not a bit disappointed with Solanke, though, against Brighton? I thought he played very deep.
I was a bit disappointed by a lot of things when Spurs played Brighton. Not in the first half, but in the second half. In the first half, I suspect you were a bit disappointed.
We haven't even... Because we did the pod together, I forgot that we haven't actually talked about it on stream
we're
yet.
not talking... That's bad. That's
Should have worn my Brighton top. Damn it.
No, this is gone as. It's in the long-term memory bank. It's for,
What a game.
It's like in Inside Out, when they ditch it.
Down the chute.
That's what's happened. I've just ditched it. All of that's gone. I would do this because I think the 3 home fixtures for Spurs in the next 4 weeks against 3 poor defences in West Ham, Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. Aston Villa's defence has been poor this season and they've got Konza out. Actually, notice I didn't bracket Ipswich into the poor defences there. We better add
because you wouldn't dare. Not with the mighty Delap at left back.
Yeah. Oh, no, not Delap at left back. He plays up
Delap.
top.
I mean, Davis. Can't even get the bloody names right.
If they swap places, that'd be hilarious. Whereas I think with Arsenal, don't get me wrong, I really like the Havertz pick. I just think if you're asking for a straight choice between these 2, you have to play the fixtures. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't agree. I would keep Havertz.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's your prerogative.
Honestly, I watched that. I bought Solanke last week and I watched that game and I thought, why have I got Solanke? Johnson is the better pick here.
We'll just get both then.
Yeah, I would, but I wouldn't say Havertz at the moment. I think Havertz is doing well. Gia says, "Oh yes, the great Leaf Delap." Very good. Very good. Bruce Evans says, "Sell Havertz at your peril." Yeah, I think he's a fine hold. I don't think he's. Sure, there must be other moves you can make rather than that. Danisha's clean against Bayern, and against Man United as well. I don't trust them defensively though.
Yeah, but I don't trust I know that they did, but I just don't trust them defensively. They've got it in them to be a really good defence. There's some really good defenders there. They've got a great goalkeeper. Just not been consistent.
I mean, these fixtures, they've conceded to West Ham, Leicester, Everton, Wolves and Ipswich.
Yeah.
They should have kept a clean sheet in one of those games.
Yes.
I think.
And it's and Spurs very attacking.
Yes. They are
suicidally in some cases, but we are very attacking.
I can't believe we won that game. Do you know what though? I messaged my dad at halfway and I was like, well, that's that then. And genuinely, my dad replied saying, we're going to win this. I swear, he said, we're going to win this. And I was like, you're delusional. There's no chance.
I knew I didn't like your dad.
He gets these feelings sometimes about these games. It's very weird. Nathan says, Wood or Solanke?
But, so again, I think this is an obvious choice when you look at the fixtures, but
I think the fixtures for Forest are pretty good. Forest fixtures are Palace at home, Leicester away, West Ham at home, Newcastle at home.
Yeah, but
It's goals in those 4.
I don't disagree with that. But I just think that Nottingham Forest will... Surely they score less goals than Spurs do in the next 4.
If you've got the money for Solanke, you go for Solanke, right?
I think so, but maybe I'm just Spurs biased. I mean, I am.
But I agree with you on this one. I'd go for Solanke, even though Wood's in the picture for this one. And Indus says Wood in, Watkins out. I love all the love for Chris Wood at the moment is unbelievable, isn't it? Scored last night, 3:00 in the morning against who was it? Taiwan, I think. Another goal for New Zealand.
Taiwan, yeah.
Don't laugh, the mighty Taiwan.
No, I'm not laughing at that. I don't really... I'm going to say something really controversial. I don't really get the Chris Wood love.
Don't let Yelzy hear that. She's his biggest fan.
Yeah, but wait till I start talking about Ben Mee.
She does love Ben Mee.
Or
McGinn. I guess the hype is the...
Go down to Delap.
Awanai came in and had absolutely no impact whatsoever against Fulham. He then didn't play at all in the next game and would play up front in a good draw and scored against Chelsea. I think he's... I was against him because I wasn't sure about his minutes. I don't think his minutes are a problem anymore.
No, I don't think
I
his
think he
minutes are a
carries on
problem.
starting.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
you just don't like him.
I just don't. I'd just rather have Delap, or like I'd rather have Solanke, Delap. Like, I think there's better options in that price point. I just don't like him.
Don't like him. Okay. I think it's harsh.
I'd sell Watkins, but maybe not this week.
I've come round to him. I think he's.
Have you?
I think he's. I would also still rather have Delap, but I have come round to Chris Wood. I used to see him in people's teams and think, "What are you doing?" But now, I don't. I think he's got that spot now down. The fixtures are pretty good. A couple of home games coming up as well. Yeah, I don't hate it. Ellie benched Wood last game week. There you go. That's what you get. You see, lack of faith. In Chris Wood. Here's a good one for you. Colm says, apart from the obvious people, i.e. me, Yelena, Mark and Lee, I have Mark's in that list. Oh, I guess that's more for me, actually. Who is the one person in FPL you would like to beat? Who's your kind of... Do you have like a kind of a rival that no one knows about, that you follow their teams? And you're secretly kind of like, oh, I wish they'd do really badly this season.
Well, after last season, it will be Jules and Kelly, because they both beat me last year, but that's not really a secret.
They're too obvious.
Everybody knows that I want to beat them.
Yeah, we're talking, you know, this is your international break. It's your deepest, darkest secret. What FPL content creator are you trying to get one over on? Must be someone. Burning hatred for, like, Oscar.
I don't think anyone's got any burning hatred for Oscar.
True. That is very true.
I don't know, not really. I actually just like people to do well.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, I just think, why can't we all do well? Like, I don't know. I guess I'm not. How about you? Have you got one?
Flippers. Let's talk.
Oh, yeah.
100%. He's so... what people don't see with me now, because we don't talk... You know, obviously, he's gone to Hub. He's now like the enemy. You know, it's all that stuff is fine. But we still talk like fairly regularly. And 90% of what he sends me is like... I wouldn't call it abuse. It's not that harsh. But it's like, what are you doing? Why have you done this? Like, he's so critical with like my moves and things. And I'm the same with him. I'll message him back some stuff. But there's a bit of a... He won't say it's a right. If you asked him, he'd be like, I don't care what Az is doing. Whatever, I've got no issue with that. It's fine. But deep down, I think he wants me to do badly. And I want him to do badly.
You live in his head rent free, is that what
I
you're
think
saying?
so. He'll claim he doesn't even give me a second thought, but he's always there. You know when you post something and it's like, oh, I've had a bad week, or or something like that. He's always like the first one to be in with like a dagger, So him. Same with Andy North as well, but we do Greyheads dancing thing where we pick a captain each week. We've kind of got a bit of a bromance going on. Andy and me now, we're just enemies.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was so much beef there.
Yeah, big enemies.
Yeah. Well, he's dead to me now if he's upsetting you.
He's not upsetting me. Let's be clear. But no, it's got to be Slippers. He losing to Andy's horrible. And hopefully it won't happen again. Lee says we want to beat FPL Harry, but we never. You've got to have a realistic... I can beat Slippers in a one-on-one over a season. I'm not getting anywhere near Harry. No one is.
I don't... Yeah, because the only people's places that I pay any attention to are yours and Lee's and then Jules and Kelly. That's it. I'm paying attention to anyone else because you're the people that I have to do content with. So I like to do content not being absolutely tanked. So, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's a good way to play. Look, it's bam. When Az does poorly, Slippers comes on to troll with a super chat on Black Box. It's hilarious. That's exactly what happens. See? People know. That's exactly it. He pays £5 or something just to have a go at me. I made a fortune from him last year. Every week he was basically bankrupted him.
Oh, brilliant.
I love Ignatius just says Sonaldo, like the nicest guy in FPL. Just him.
That's because I often do content with Sonaldo. We do off the bench.
Oh,
together.
it's for you. It's for you. I see.
Why. No, I honestly love that man so much. He's one of the nicest people you could not wish Andy to do badly. Could you?
I reckon you've got a dartboard of someone that you chuck darts at and you want them to do badly. It's me, yeah. It probably is, to be fair.
It's not.
Sorry. Keseven says who's Slippers? Slippers is Let's Talk FPL Andy. He's called Slipper. We call him Slippers because he once came on Black Box quite late at night wearing a dressing gown. So Mark and I call him Slippers. That's literally all there is to it. And it's semi. Sometimes I go into his chat and someone's called him Slippers, and I think, yeah, we started that. That's good. Right, next question. Everyone's just talking about rivalries now. Excellent. Summit is in the chat. He says, should I sell Vardy to Jimenez? Vardy's got Southampton next.
Yeah. I just was looking at that.
Can you believe Leicester have scored in every game so far this season?
No, it's really weird, isn't it?
Isn't it?
It's just strange. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I think I would hold Vardy, actually. Villa, Everton, Brentford for Fulham versus... Where's Leicester gone there? Southampton, Nottingham Forest, Ipswich. I think I'd hold Vardy.
I don't think there's much in it between some of those players. You know, Welbeck, Strand Larson, Jimenez. I think they're all pretty... Yeah, I think they're all pretty good. Well, I think Delap's a bit higher than them, but I think the rest of them are pretty good. Like moving Vardy to Jimenez or moving Welbeck to Wood or moving around, you know, that 6 million-ish striker spot. I just think you're not going to hit a big haul and you might actually sell one. So I think I'd just leave Vardy. I'd definitely give him Southampton. Wouldn't be selling him yet. Let's take a look. The next one. British 87 says whoever still has Bruno Fernandes should get no respect. I can't believe Andy's still got Bruno Fernandes. He literally wildcarded and kept him in.
That's the Man United bias for you.
Incredible stuff. Best budget defender from just a dad posting stuff.
Leif Davis.
Good answer. Yep.
And also, if you don't need to play them in 8 Nori.
Yeah, 8 Nori's fun, isn't he? Although, a goal and an assist and no bonus for 8 Nori in the last game.
Yeah, but like no clean sheets yet either for Wolves, as we've rightly said, and they've conceded a lot of. But he's created 9 chances, which is third across the Wolves team. He's also created. No, sorry, that's the. He's created. I'm going to start this whole thing again.
We're live. We can't cut this out.
Just pretend that didn't happen. He's created
8
9
Nori, Sam. What do you think?
8 Nori, I really like. So no clean sheets yet for Wolves, but he has created 9 chances, which is top at Wolves, and he's third across the Wolves team for goal attempts, also with 9, and has 4 attacking returns to his name, which is the most at Wolves. So when we are looking at the Wolves fixtures, and I appreciate that everyone's going to go, why is she talking about Wolves? They've been terrible. Yeah, that's true. However...
Good impression of the people listening. It's going to make them feel great.
It's also a good impression of myself, because it sounded like the impression you made of me earlier.
It does, yeah.
When you look at the fixtures that follow the Man City game, obviously it's your boys in 9, but then Palace, Southampton, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester, Manchester United. There's clean sheets and attacking returns for 8 Nori in that one. In all of them. Yeah,
I really like it. Like I said, the worrying thing for me is, okay, they conceded a load of goals. 5 goals conceded to Brentford. But if they're conceding goals, he's not getting anywhere near the bonus. Actually, I say that. He did get bonus in the game against Liverpool. Only just 25 BPS he got. He got 2 bonus in that. So it's not very high. You wouldn't normally expect to get 2 bonus with 25. But yeah, 17 BPS with a goal and an assist against Brentford. That is crazy low, and obviously he's punished for each goal that goes in.
It's the new bonus point system, isn't it, doing that? So the more you concede, the worse that's going to get. So even when you're doing good stuff in attack, it's going to have a negative impact. So I quite like him, though. I think Leif Davis is my favourite of the cheap options. If you really, really want to go uber cheap, then go for Greaves. But Leif Davis is by far the better attacking threat in that Ipswich defence. Otherwise, 8 Nori... a little shout out to Van der Ven, just because, absolute god.
Any excuse? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're the main ones. Someone's mentioned James Justin, FPL Onions. Any thoughts on Justin? 4.6 million. Obviously, he's got a goal, 2 goals and assist in his last 2 games.
Yeah.
2 double-digit hauls.
Played himself last week though, didn't he? Not the week before.
Good fixtures.
The next three in particular look nice, don't they? Southampton, Nottingham Forest, Ipswich. After that, Man United, Chelsea, Brentford. Still not terrible, is it? West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle, Wolves, Liverpool. As long as you're prepared to sell him before game week 18, when they've got Liverpool, Man City back to back, I think he's a really nice option. Or just bench him.
Would you pay the 0.5 more for Justin over Face?
Yes.
Okay. There you go. Good option then. Yeah, I like Justin. He's playing really well at the moment as well. FPL says he could be dropped for Ricardo. I don't think that's happening. Ricardo's been really poor.
That.
Really poor.
And he's been good.
Yeah. He's not going to drop Justin.
No.
Justin
we'll know if he is because he'll drop himself in his team.
Yeah, that's true. Justin could even move to the other side, couldn't he? Didn't he play left back for a bit?
He could do, yeah.
Yeah, I can't, there's no way Justin's coming out of that team. He's one of their best players. British says, Aït-Nouri is my differential. Hybrid 2. Yep, absolutely. Kisavan says Aït-Nouri has better XGI than Davis, and Wolves has a better X goal conceded than Ipswich. Yeah, it's just City next, isn't it? Yeah. That's the issue.
That's why, if you don't need him for 8,
yeah.
then
Davis
really
got Everton home next. But yeah, I'm looking at getting Aït-Nouri in the next few weeks. I think it was great.
I'll go there as well.
Jay Clayton says, what's your team values?
Good question. I'll look.
I imagine mine's better than yours because I've already wildcarded.
All right.
Well, no, I'm saying it's,
my team value is better than yours.
But you've got a wildcard. I'm probably like 0.5 ahead of you on team value, but you've still got the wildcard, so I'd rather be in your position. Mine's 102. Exactly. Bang on.
Yeah. So you are quite a long way ahead then.
What's yours?
Because mine's 101.1.
Okay, so I'm 0.9. 0.9, yeah, but... Yeah, I don't know. 0.9 team value. I'm probably about 10, 15 points ahead of you, but you've still got the wild card. Let us know. What position would you rather be in? I think there's much in it, to be fair. Here's a good one. FPL Mackham, Dibling or Rodgers for the start? I've got some thoughts on this.
I bet you have. Rodgers got Fulham. Dibling's got Leicester. I think I'll play Rodgers. But you'll play Dibling.
I knew you'd say that. I'm playing Dibling. I've got Rodgers on the bench. I got Dibling in the 11. What other opportunities are you going to have to play Dibling? I've been really impressed with him. I think he looks good.
He does look good.
He's the jewel. He's the jewel in that Southampton crown by far.
It's just the problem is that the Southampton crown is very, very small and very, very wobbly and could easily collapse in just a burning mound of... I don't know where I'm going with this. Whereas the Aston Villa crown is a lot more robust and a lot more stable.
Yeah.
I still think Rodgers is the best player in that at the moment as well.
Okay, in the Aston Villa crown.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Villa are a much better team than Southampton. But
just would it surprise you if Southampton got beaten by Leicester?
Absolutely not. No. But
it would surprise me if Villa lose to Fulham.
It wouldn't surprise me. I think Fulham are good. I like Fulham.
I'd be surprised if Villa lose that game.
I think that my hope is that is a tight game, and Leicester Southampton has goals in it because neither team can seem to defend.
I think that's guaranteed to have goals in it.
I'm playing Dibling. This happens to me every year. I find excuses to bench highly owned players, and I basically guarantee with that Rodgers is going to score and Dibling won't do anything.
Bench him.
But Nikolai says 9 million Liverpool attacker next year. Dibling. That's maybe going a bit much. But that's fine. Kesavan says Fulham been decent defensively and they're at home. This is the time to play Dibling. Yeah, this is the talk I need to get me to do it. Onions mentions he was withdrawn from the England under-21s though. Okay, that's one to Monch. I hadn't seen that as well.
Oh, I see. Is he injured?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I'm going to Google him while you're talking.
Summit says Semenyo replacement. Yeah, Semenyo's now... We knew this would happen. We knew that we'd basically get 2 games from Semenyo, given he had 2 promoted teams. It's now, like we mentioned earlier, Arsenal, Villa, and then Man City. Very good run of games after that, though. Brentford, Brighton, Wolves, Spurs, Ipswich, West Ham. I think if you can get away with benching him for the next couple, with a Dibling, for example, or 4 at the back, bringing in Aït-Nouri in game week 9, I'm probably going to keep Semenyo, I think, and play him again from 11. I think so. Yeah. Unless I move him up to someone, pricey.
Brennan.
Because I've got Davis who can come in this week and Dibling. The week
Dibling,
after,
it doesn't say what's wrong with Dibling. It just says he's withdrawn through injury.
He's withdrawn. Okay.
From the under 19s.
Well, so he didn't actually play. He was withdrawn before the game.
It says he did not join up.
Oh, he's fine.
It says it said. Hang on, I've just lost the quote. It said, oh, here we go. He has withdrawn through injury and has been replaced by Chelsea player.
Yeah, he's fine. That's Southampton saying we cannot lose Dibling or we are literally screwed this season. I'd be amazed. I'd be amazed if he didn't start in that game. I thought he played and got taken off. No, that's fine.
No, hasn't played. Didn't join up.
Yeah, I mean Semenyo. Obviously, you're not going to want to play him the next 3 games. I mean, this week, for example, I can play Dibling. The week after that, I've got Davis who could come in, Brentford away, or I've got Moreno, who's got Leicester away. And then the week after that, I want to play Davis again because Davis got Leicester at home. So I can play Davis against Everton, Moreno against Leicester, and then Davis again against Leicester. So, and just bench Semenyo for those 3. So I'm quite happy to do that. Unless I sell Watkins, and then I've got money to move. Yeah, exactly. Move up to a Johnson or move up to someone else. But I think Semenyo's a good hold. I really rate him. He's had the most shots of all midfielders so far this season.
I don't disagree with you. He started really well. I just think that the fixtures in the next, so the next 3 is horrible. Arsenal, Aston Villa, Man City, fine, disgusting. I think that's given. But then after that, Brentford, Brighton. Well, they're not going to be easy games for Bournemouth.
There's goals though. There's goals in those.
True. Then
Brentford,
Wolves.
Brentford, Brighton, Wolves. I like him for those 3.
But I think I'd sell. You've got no value in him, really, have you?
Who for?
How much would you have to spend?
Well, this isn't for me. This is for Summit, who is asking.
How much
Semenyo replacement at
similar price.
Well, Semenyo's 5.7, so you probably picked him up at 5.6, like most of us did. That was before the 2 runs. So let's say 5.6. So that's looking at McNeil's now 5.7.
Dwight McNeil. Yeah, but if you've got 0.1, I think Dwight McNeil is a great option for the next few weeks. Great option.
Smith Rowe 5.7.
Possibly.
Adama Traore 5.1.
Yeah, but he got no finishing.
He hasn't got any finishing whatsoever.
Got no finishing.
There's not. I don't know. There's not a huge amount of options at 5.6 and under.
There isn't. I think it's Dwight McNeil. I'm just looking if there's anybody like.
You mentioned Cavallio, but obviously we've been talking about Visser coming back, so I'm not too sure about him.
Back on the grass. I think you have to be careful.
Back on the grass. Yeah, I'm not too sure about. There's no one else really. I don't think at 5.5.
There's no one else. I'm down.
Mavadidi, because we talked about the Leicester fixtures. He's at 5.3.
Yeah,
Praz has got Mavadidi.
Has he?
That should be enough to be able to get him. He's good.
Praz is a good FPL manager.
He is a very good FPL manager. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Raz. I'm not.
This is what I mean. Do you know what I mean? This is why I kind of feel like you might as well keep him. If you've got defenders who can come in and just bench him for the next couple, then he's one of the. He's the best 5.5 option. Semenyo.
If you've got 5.7 though, Dwight McNeil's better. No.
A few people mentioning Rutter. That's an interesting one.
Rutter.
Yep. You know all about
Rutter?
him.
Shut up. How much is Rutter?
He's 5.5.
Is he?
Yeah. 2 goals and assists in his last 2 games.
Shh. I don't like him. I think it's a disgrace.
He's a baller. He's a problem when Pedro's back. And the fixtures for Brighton are awful. So would I be making that move? Who have Brighton got next? Newcastle away. Oh God, we always do badly against Newcastle.
Then it's Wolves, then it's Liverpool.
Newcastle, then Wolves, then Liverpool, then Man City.
It doesn't scream let's invest in Brighton, does it?
No, it doesn't. No.
I think game week 12 onwards, that screams let's invest in Brighton.
If you're gonna sell Semenyo, I think you go for Mavadidi. I don't think there's anyone else I'd bother with.
Or you find 0.1 and go to McNeil.
Or if you've got 0.1, you go to McNeil. Yeah, I agree with that.
Or you find $1 million and you go to Brennan Johnson.
Oh, FPL Harry's also got Mavadidi. There you go.
Oh, well,
if Harry and Praz have got him, then that's the one. James C says, Rutter generational talent. No, I'm not saying that again.
You did just say that. You said that. Everyone, sound clip that. Sound clip it.
You probably could sound clip it, so it says it. He's fun though. You
said that about Barco. You said he was going to be fun.
Yeah, I did. Well, he was.
I mean, he sort of has been fun.
He sort of has been fun, just for like the wrong reasons.
It's been fun because it's allowed us all to have a go at you constantly.
Russ is a funny one because he came without much reputation as being able to be a clinical goal scorer, but being a handful for defenders. And I mean, he is a bloody handful. Like against Spurs, he was that. I mean, that assist he got for Welbeck was incredible. You know, the power he had and the ability to get the ball across. But is he consistent enough with the fixtures? I don't know. It's probably not for me. Oh, people are saying Praz hasn't got Mavadidi.
Don't get him then.
A few people before we go are mentioning Buonanotte, another Brighton player.
Won us the sleeper game last week.
Oh, that says Coy to do. I meant Buonanotte. He's doing well, isn't he, for Leicester? He's got his set pieces as well. I thought he played really well against Bournemouth, got the 11 points in that, assist in the game before, 0.6% ownership, good run of fixtures, 5 million. Yeah, I don't hate that.
Do you know what, this Q&A has descended because in the last few minutes we've spoken almost exclusively about players from the newly promoted sides. Like,
haven't we?
There's been a lot of Ipswich love. We've been on Leicester for a bit. We've been on Dibling at Southampton. We've not really spoken about any of the like big expensive assets since Foden at the beginning. We've just been talking about the like lesser owned players and clubs. So Buonanotte.
Sam,
I don't mind this one.
I am a slave to the chat. You know, these are the people can ask whatever they want. I'm just picking questions, and they all seem to be about promoted sides.
I don't mind it. Yeah, but that's because they've all got good fixtures. Like they've all got. Like I quite like that. If you don't have any Leicester, I don't mind that.
Yeah. What do you think of Buonanotte? Would you bring him in?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Southampton.
Yeah, I like it as well.
Especially a Southampton team without Dibling.
Good. Right, final question, and probably the most important one of the entire stream from FPL Yellow Army. Sweet or salty popcorn?
Mixed.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You've got to have mixed. As if you're going to the cinema, you have to.
No. Salty popcorn is the devil.
Shh, no, come on, man.
Sweet popcorn every time. With the toffee ones in to add an even extra bit of sweetness.
No, but I do like the cinema that Lee and I often go to on date night. If we go into the cinema, we'll put chocolate on the top.
See, that's too much.
No, it's delicious. Because when you take a handful of popcorn in the dark and you don't know that there's a bit of chocolate in there, it tastes delicious. It's like a little surprise.
Well, look at this. Sweet, says FPL Alex the Kid. Sweet, says Ignatius. Sweet, says Massacre Aggression. Sweet, says Aldor. Matt Francis, Toffee Butterkiss. Thank you, Matt.
No,
that's the one.
No.
Massacre Aggression, Toffee. Yelena, Toffee.
Yelena!
See? Bloody salt popcorn is horrible.
No, not on its own, but there's got to be a mix. It's got to be a mixed.
Just take some minstrels. I like that.
Delicious. I do like a minstrel. Chocolate buttons. They're my preferred poison in the cinema.
Sometimes we get the buttons and we put them in the popcorn. And then
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's nice.
But then when they're in the popcorn, like the cinema we go to, they'll put chocolate toppings on the popcorn for you.
Of all the questions, this is the one that's got the biggest. It's like all the 200 people lurking, and now we're getting a few more salties now. John W salty, Ellie John salty. Mark says, "What's this popcorn talk?"
It's got to be a mix. I don't want to go on a date with you at the cinema.
Is Lee a mix?
Yeah.
Now, see, that's why that relationship works.
Yeah, we get mixed popcorn.
I couldn't be with someone who likes salty popcorn. Just.
Is this the time I should tell you that if Max has got his choice, he'll go just the bag of salty popcorn?
A bag of salt?
Bag of salty popcorn, that's it. If he gets a choice of what he wants, that's the only one.
Just Max there with a bag of salt. Bag of sea... What's it like, sea salt or Himalayan pink salt?
The pink one? No, if he's got a choice, he'll just have purely salted popcorn.
Oh, disgusting. Awful.
Has he gone down in your estimation?
All my respect for that kid's gone, yeah. Matthew Perry says, press the like button before I forgot. Great show, guys. Great button as always. Yeah, if you could like the stream, that would be great. If you're not subscribed to Scout, check it out. If you want to learn a bit more about Leif Davis and Rory Delap's son, Liam Delap, thank you. Then check out Scout as well. But Sam, thank you, love. Thank you. See, thank you, lovely. I was like, what am I saying, lovely? Thank you.
That is going to be clipped. The fact that we've spent the last couple of minutes talking about going on a date to the cinema.
Thank you, lovely. What am I talking about?
I don't think you've ever called me lovely. That's what I often call you.
I've never called anyone lovely. Weird. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'll see you next week.
Right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.